Good morning, everybody. Well, summer's over, and now we're heading into one of my very favorite times of year. The kids are all back in school and largely out of the way. Baseball is heading into the postseason. The weather's cooling off. The leaves are turning colors. And hey, we might not be bombing Syria after all. Boy, everything's coming up Millhouse. But lest I get too optimistic, why don't we read some comments from Mail Call, shall we? The following comments are taken from editions of Mail Call, printed in the Herald-Mail from September 2nd to September 13th, 2013, which can be read online in their entirety at www.heraldmailmedia.com. That's right. The Herald-Mail got a new website. The content still sucks, but it looks different. First up from Williamsport. I heard that several small towns along the Canal and Potomac River are planning to increase property taxes, raise sewer rates, and add a business tax on local merchants and landlords. Town pet license is even being considered. And we understand that many towns have lost major businesses and have to go find revenue somewhere, but really, come on now. We are all hurting. We are looking to towns to help us update our buildings, building us up, build business in our town, and watch out for us, their residents that are supporting them. We want you to do the best for us. That's understandable, and I agree with you, but you yourself raised the key issue in your comment. Where is the revenue that the town is going to use to build you up supposed to come from? Are they going to rob a bank in the next town? I mean, I'm not suggesting that tax hikes are always justified, and I'm certainly not saying that tax revenue is always ideally spent by the government, but you do realize that those dollars collected through taxation are eventually going to find their way back into the hands of private citizens, most of whom probably live in your town, correct? I mean, the mayor of Williamsport isn't just keeping it all in a big vault somewhere, presumably. Well, Hagerstown, you did it again. The Suns are now leaving and another business leaves Hagerstown. Not sure when you're going to wake up and realize that a town needs businesses to survive. Growth and advancement are good for the economy and job stability in a town. Washington County, you are seriously going to have to start accepting the fact that our county is outdated, sad looking, and with all the broken sidewalks, closed businesses, just embarrassing. You had a year to vote on keeping the Suns. This town will eventually end up like Detroit, but only on a smaller scale. Keedysville. Oh, come on now, let's not get carried away. Detroit still has a team. Forget the Suns. Take a few years off and grab a team who wants to play in Hagerstown. Your mayor and council did the right thing by not doing anything. Now, the real baseball was just played in Williamsport, the Little League World Series games, 11, 12, and 13-year-old kids doing what the major leaguers do and doing it for no monetary pay. They do it for love of the game. It was good baseball. Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. Grab a team that wants to play in Hagerstown. Sure, we lost the Civil War, but forget the slaves. Take a few years off and then grab some people who want to work 20-hour days with no pay, enduring constant abuse and intolerable working conditions. Okay, wait. If the Suns are the slaves, and I want the Suns to stay in town, does that mean that I don't want slavery to have ended? Yeah, now that I think about it, that's not a very good metaphor. I'm calling about the ball field. Number one, I used to belong to the knothole gang when I was about 13 and 14 at the ball field. Number two, we got a beautiful ball field out there. If we just got together, it wouldn't have cost that much money. They brag about how much it costs and everything. Tear down half of it on one side of the ball field 1 year, tear down the other side, rebuild it, and do the grandstand and the seating area, and they'll have a beautiful stadium. And somebody else will come here and move here, and we'll have another ball team. Don't worry about the team that leaves. We can get another team. Washington County. See, this is one of the biggest problems with Hagerstown. Most of the people are pessimistic complainers who hate the way things are only slightly less than they hate whatever you're proposing to do to change it. And then the few people who aren't like that are fucking delusional cockeyed optimists like this guy. We'll just tear down half of the stadium at a time and rebuild it. It'll be beautiful. It won't cost all that much. What, the team left? Don't worry about it. Another team will come. Hagerstown is doomed. I'm calling regarding all this conversation about raising the minimum wage and people complaining about wanting a raise. Well, I work for barely over the minimum wage, and the thing is, if you don't like working for minimum wage, then go get a higher paying job. No one's stopping you. You can quit the job and go find another job, period. Washington County. Boy, I am glad somebody finally said it. If you're not happy with what you're being paid at your job, then just quit and go get a better paying job. If you're having trouble paying your bills or making your rent at the end of the month, quit the shitty job and go get a good job. No one's stopping you. If your car sucks, get rid of it and go get a new one. If your house is falling apart, move into a better one. What the fuck is so hard about this? Mr. President, in a no-fly zone, drop one bomb on each main highway that leads in and out of Syria. That way, no Al-Qaeda can get in or out so fast. Hagerstown. Oh, fuck. You guys, for the last time, the President of the United States doesn't read our newspaper. But it sounds like it's important, so I will call him and I will let him know what your idea is, okay? But I am not going to keep doing this. Bear. Hey, Steve. Yeah, I'm sorry. Listen, someone called into my local newspaper and they had an idea for how to handle the whole Syria thing. I just wanted to fill you in on that, so. Okay, great. Well, basically what you want to do is drop one bomb on each of the major highways in and out of the country, see? That way the Al-Qaeda won't be able to get in or out so easily. So, how's that grab you? What? Oh, you have experienced military professionals to advise you on things like this. Well, excuse me, Mr. President. Dick. I am against Obamacare. I would like to know how many other citizens in Washington County share my sentiment. Let's unite and fight against this before it takes over. Funkstown. If we don't do something soon, healthcare coverage will be more affordable and more people will have it. We can't let that happen. What are we becoming? Is this what you call progress? After reading your article about the city council hearing on the stadium, I think we ought to rename the city council. It should be called the Kangaroo Court, which is a mockery in which the principles of law and justice are disregarded. Hagerstown. The jokes you feel like you have to explain as you tell them are always the ones most worth telling, aren't they? Labor Day is over. Over 9 million jobs are lost since Obama took office. Draw the red line. Jobs, not war. Take back America. Real hope and change. Obamacare destroys lives. Working people only. Hagerstown. I've never watched much Doctor Who, but even I recognize a comment called in by a Dalek when I read one. Repeal and replace Obamacare. I obey. And finally, from Williamsport, I'm reading in Mail Call about someone calling in saying that if your parents were born in America and you were born in another country, that you are also an American. Let's just say Europe. I don't think that's right. I think if you were born in another country, you are a citizen of that country. I could be wrong, but I think I'm right. If both your parents are birthright citizens of the United States, then you are almost certainly also a birthright citizen of the United States, no matter where you were born. The only thing that could possibly make any difference is if your parents had not lived in the United States for at least a year. With those relatively rare exceptions, generally speaking, if your parents are American citizens, then no matter where you're born, you are also an American citizen. You think you're right, but you're wrong. I'm right. And by the way, the only reason I'm right is because I took the time to look up what the answer actually was. And if you really care about what the answer is, you should look it up for yourself. In case I'm wrong. Thanks for watching.